Cynthia, thank you very much. We began with the 200-yard medley relay. It was Arizona last year that set the NCAA record. Here's a look at the lane assignments. SMU will be in the top of your screen. Tennessee, Northwestern, Texas in lane 4, followed by Arizona, the Tigers, Stanford, and the hometown team, Minnesota, will be in lane 8. But watch out for the Tigers.
And boy, they've got some firepower, especially those last two legs. Paninsky and Cielo will be very good the last 100. Northwestern is also very good. We've already seen what they can do earlier.
And indeed, a little earlier in the 400-yard medley relay, it was Northwestern, a school that hadn't won a team relay in 74 years, with a very impressive showing.
Oh, they sure did, didn't they? 1933, you got to go way back to see what Northwestern did. Matt Grevers is right there, just touching the wall. The senior got him off to a good start, and then Mike Alexandrov, another senior. What great leadership they had the front half. That got him off to a very comfortable lead, halfway point. Kyle Bubos, the junior, did a magnificent job of extending that lead, and then Bruno Barbic, the junior, cruised home to victory.
Matt Grevers says his team's still excited about their record performance.
Just took one anchor, and we got him, and we made it happen. I mean, like I said, I've been waiting a long time, our whole relay. We've been talking splits all year. I think this was the main focus of this meet, and we accomplished it, and I mean, I feel great. I think the whole relay does. The team's in the clouds right now, and hopefully carries on for the rest of the meet.
Can Northwestern follow through into this 200-yard medley relay? Here's a look at the stroke order: backstroke, then breaststroke, butterfly, and freestyle.
I think they've got a shot. This is a little bit shorter, but they will be very tough the front half of this relay.
Each swimmer goes 2 links of the pool in their designated stroke, 8 total links of the pool for all 4 swimmers.
And watch Arizona. You mentioned that they're the defending champions, and they've got a quick leadoff leg. Watch this guy, Albert Subirats. Oh my goodness, did he have a great turn? He's gone out of the picture. There he is out front, giving Arizona a huge lead. 20.5 on Subirats. There aren't freestylers here that can go that fast.
Down into the breaststroke. Junior Ivan Barnes of Arizona right now has the lead for the Wildcats.
Now Arizona in lane 5, you see them have about a half body length on the field. They're very good on the front half. That was Barnes for the breaststroke. Now the rest of the field will start inching up on them. Also keep an eye on Auburn in lane number 6. They're right underneath Arizona. They got a lot of speed, and their last 2 legs are incredible. And there goes Paninsky for Auburn.
Lanes 3, 5, and 6. Anybody's race at this point.
And there's Cielo. He is the sprint sensation of Auburn. This could be a big upset to start this meet off. Texas is ranked first coming in. There goes Cielo. What a great leg he's having.
Last 10 yards. There, it's won by Auburn. At 1:23.37, Northwestern will come in second, and Arizona finishes third, and another NCAA record broken.
And you can see the Auburn bench. There's head coach David Marsh to the left right there. A new record. Oh my goodness, there were some amazing splits on that relay. 20.5 to lead it off for Arizona, but they could just not hang on.
How did they overcome Subirats of Arizona early in this race? He was unbelievable.
Well, you know, when I was talking to Coach Marsh earlier, he said that was a big factor, that they were going to be very tough that first half. That first 100, but he said they were going to be able to come on them the second half, and that's right where Paninsky did it. Right there in the fly, you've got 3 legs going off right together. Northwestern up there in lane number 3 just out touches. Cielo just gets him at the end, and they break the record.
By just about a half second, the Auburn Tigers win the 200-yard medley relay. Here are the results. It's an NCAA record time for the winner, Auburn. But you'll notice Northwestern, Arizona, and Texas all disqualified. Rowdy, have you ever seen so many teams DQ'd in a race of this magnitude?
And Mark, no, I've never seen it, and I shouldn't have to see something like this. Not at this level. There's no excuse for an early start like that, especially given the fact that Auburn was going to run away with this anyway at the very end.
Now to the 100-yard butterfly. Ian Crocker of Texas won this event 4 years in a row, and he holds the NCAA and American record. But the top qualifier in this one will be in lane 4, Rowdy, and that's Arizona's Albert Subirats.
Yeah, finished second last year and just had a sensational leg on that 200 medley relay. And guess what? That was in backstroke. And we'll see him in the 100 back coming up shortly, but he'll be very good in this, as will Kyle Bubos from Northwestern, the junior. Big Ten champion in the 100 fly. He'll be very good too. He also had a great split on their 200 medley relay.
Our lane assignments: 3 Auburn swimmers. Ankar in lane 1, Puninsky in lane 3, and Target in lane 8. 2 swimmers from Stanford, Dunford in lane 2, Wildman Toberner in lane 6. Don't forget about Subirats in lane 4, and O'Neill of Cal will be in lane 7. Lane 1 at the top of your screen, lane 8 at the bottom. 4 links to the pool, butterfly.
100 butterfly. Take your mark.
Huge international contingent here. You've got 5 countries represented. Subirats from Venezuela, the top qualifier. Should be the class of the field here based on the way he's been swimming these last few sessions. Look at him underneath the water. He stays underneath the water longer than anybody else. Already built about a half body length lead on the field. 20.8 going out. That's ahead of NCAA pace.
So Subirats in the lead in lane 4.
Boy, I like the way he's looking right now. He finished second last year to his teammate Lyndon Ferns. Guess what? He's going to win this year.
The
he's going to be the
5,
champ.
he's going to do it in lane 4. Subirats, a time of 44.57. Wildman Toberner comes in second from Stanford. And Target of Auburn in lane 3, and another NCAA record falls, this one to Subirats.
He destroyed the record, absolutely destroyed it. 44.57, the NCAA record was about a half a second, about a second slower. Incredible.
Winning time, 44.57.
This guy is on a roll. You can see him going out. 3, 4 from the top. Watch underwater. See how long he stays. There's all the other swimmers. Guess what? He's still underneath the water. He does such a good job of constantly moving forward. He's very careful not to dive down. He has great undulation, but he's not an up and down swimmer. He's constantly moving forward. Coming off this last wall here, you see how far underneath the water he stays. And then watch this finish. He puts that head down that last 3 or 4 strokes, and 44.5. Woo! That's fast.
And a new NCAA record. Now, our winner down there on deck. Here's Cynthia Potter.
Albert, a fabulous race, a new record. Wildcats are obviously very resilient after the relay disappointment. Do you use that to go into this race, or do you just put it behind you and go on?
I just use the love of my teammates, love of my coaches, all the Arizona fans here. That's for them. It's not even about me anymore. It's all the coaches and the team. Couldn't do this without my team, and my team is back home in Tucson. It's all for them.
Fabulous race. Congratulations on the record.
Thank you.
Here's a look at the results. Subirats with the record time, 44.57. Wildman Toberner of Stanford second. And Matt Target comes in third. 21 events for the swimming and diving championships. There are 3 diving events, 3 relays, primarily. Most are individual swimming events, and you will see them all right here from Minneapolis. Now to some action from earlier in the meet. We begin with the 200-yard freestyle relay, and it was Auburn in lane 4, the top qualifier.
Yeah, and Cesar Cielo, the sophomore, got him off to a great start. 18.69. That is the fastest swim in history. Matt Target, 18.7. Goodrich right there, the junior, goes 18.6. And guess what? The senior, Brian Lundquist, ends it with an 18.6, the fastest in history. Unbelievable.
And Auburn wins it 114.71 to the 500-yard freestyle. Interesting field here. Sean Phillips, the top qualifier, Stanford in lane 4. You had Larson Jensen of USC in lane 5. And at the bottom of your screen, Alex Vanderkay of Michigan in lane 7. Michael Clean, impressive sophomore from Texas in lane 8.
It was a good field, and Larson Jensen, though, started taking control as the race went on and won it going away. Really solid splits all the way.
In the 200-yard IM, there were 2 Northwestern swimmers, 2 Florida swimmers, but 1 very impressive Arizona swimmer.
Yeah, Adam Ritter, he was way up there in lane number 1. Then all of a sudden, Matt Grevers, look what he did at the halfway point. Just out of sight, but he just couldn't quite hold on. This breaststroke leg can be the death knell for a lot of IMers, and you can see toward the top of the Adam Ritter just out touches him.
And Adam Ritter wins the 200-yard IM. We have had quite a few records broken here in Minneapolis. This has a reputation for being a fast pool. Why so, Rowdy?
Well, I think a lot of it's tradition, the ambiance, depth, gutter system, lane lines. It all adds up to some pretty fast swimming, and these young men have something to do with it too.
Well, now to our Pontiac high performance moment. 50 freestyle, one of the greatest swims you'll ever see here.
It was just incredible. Cesar Cielo, we'll be saying his name a lot. Count from the top with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, right in the middle of the pool. Watch what he does on this turn. Unbelievable. I've never seen a swim like this. Obviously, he goes 18.69, ties his own record. Incredible.
And Cielo even amazed himself.
18.6, it's really hard to explain because I saw Brad last when he went to 18.7, and I was thinking that was an impossible time. I was like, I can't imagine somebody doing that. And just watching the scoreboard after the race, that was like really, seeing a dream come true.
Here's a look at the team standings through 7 events. It's Auburn up front, followed by Stanford, Arizona, Florida 4th, then Texas, Northwestern 6th, and in 7th place, it's USC. We move to the 100-yard breaststroke, the fastest field ever in this event. We may not see Jeremy Lin's records fall, but we may see somebody break 52 seconds. And I know you like Mike Alexandrov in lane 6 from Northwestern.
Yeah, I do. He has a lot of speed, Big Ten champ. And, he finished 9th, just out of the money last year, so he's got something to drive him there, and he's a senior. He's got to watch out for the top qualifier, though, Mark, Vlad Palikov from Kazakhstan. He won the 200 breast in 2005, and now he's here in the 100.
So look at the lane assignments. Barnes of Arizona will be at the top of your screen in lane 1, followed by Newman, O'Halloran, Palikov in lane 4, Kornfeld of Stanford in lane 5, Alexandrov of Northwestern in 6, Alex Hetlin of SMU 7, and Jonathan Roberts of Auburn will be in lane 8. Four links of the pool, breaststroke.
100 breaststroke. Take your mark.
Mark, keep an eye on Paul Kornfeld in lane 5 from Stanford, just a sophomore. There's a lot of seniors in this. Half the field are seniors, including lane 3, Tyler O'Halloran from Texas. He's got a lot of great early speed, too.
Everybody even up as we come through the first 50.
I figured this would happen. I mean, only about a half a second separates the top 8 swimmers. This is where you'll start to see them separate just a little bit. Alexandrov and Palikov are so good on this back half.
Alexandrov in lane 6, Palikov in lane 4, neck and neck.
Yeah, just what we thought. I knew they'd start to go out. Palikov so good in the 200. I love the way Alexandrov's looking. This could be a huge win for Northwestern.
The last couple of yards in the touch. Alexandrov in lane 6. He does break 52 seconds.
And he breaks the record to boot.
51-56. The Olympian from Bulgaria, Alexandrov, wins the 100-yard breaststroke.
Wow, where did that come from? My goodness, I knew these guys would be fast, but 51.5. That is that record is 10 years old, set by Jeremy Lin. 51.86. Unbelievable. And he was bunched up. You see how he's bunched up right there with the rest of the swimmers, and then all of a sudden, it just looks like he gets shot out of a cannon going into that third turn. Look at that, Mark. I mean, incredible. It's just surge, and that's so important to have that momentum going into that last turn, and look at the finish. Unbelievable. Woo-hoo-hoo.
And a smile on Alexandrov's face. The senior from Northwestern wins it. Now let's go down on deck, and Cynthia visits with the winner.
Try and say something smart to Cynthia.
Mike, that was a fabulous race, and I have to ask you the question that Rowdy asked during the race. What happened after the third turn? Looked like, as he said, you were shot out of a cannon.
I mean, it's hard. I've dreamt about this. You know, my team, my dad, my mom, everyone's pushing me every day, and after you push off, you got nothing.
That was a great race for you and Northwestern. Congratulations on the record.
Thank you very much.
Great finish for Alexandrov as he leads the field in the 100-yard breaststroke, 51.56, new record time. Kornfeld of Stanford second, and Polikov of Alabama winds up taking third. The 200-yard freestyle, Simon Burnett of Arizona had won this the last 3 years in a record time a year ago. With the favorite this year in lane 4, Dominic Meachtree from Cal.
Now the slight favorite, top qualifier, no doubt, but only 0.8 of a second separates the top 8 swimmers. This race is wide open. You know, Sean Phillips, for example, is only 1/10 of a second off the preliminary pace of Meachtree, so these two swimmers swam very well. Phillips finished 8th last year at these championships.
Check out the lane assignments. Half the field, Arizona Wildcats. Ritter in lane 1, Nilo in lane 3, Townsend in lane 6, Basson of Arizona in lane 7. You have the 2 Stanford swimmers, Grant in lane 2, Phillips in lane 5. Walters, the non-Pac-10 swimmer in all this, of Texas in lane 8.
This opens that door for Arizona. They desperately needed this to be able to have a chance to close that door just a little bit on Auburn. 4 swimmers will add a boatload of points for them, regardless of whether they win this or not.
Rowdy, I know this is an event close to your heart. It's not a sprint, it's not a marathon. You certainly have to pace yourself here.
You do. You know, when I swam this 25, 30 years ago, it was a middle distance race, and now it has become this long sprint. And you don't have a lot of time to pace yourself. You know, the 500 free, 1650, get into that pace a little bit. You got to jump on this thing fairly quickly. Back off the legs maybe a little bit that first 75, but then you got to go.
The top of your screen in lane 1, Ritter right now with a slight edge. Darian Townsend in lane 6.
Yeah, he's looking very good right now. Part of 3 NCAA titles for Arizona. A senior who'd love to go out with a victory, and guess what? Because he's way up there, a lot of these guys bunch up together there in the middle, can't see Adam Ritter at the top. He's starting to pull back to the field now.
Now the 2 cats, Townsend in lane 6, Ritter in lane 1.
Boy, look at Darian Townsend pop off that wall. There he is. 3 from the bottom. You can see he's built the lead, and the problem now becomes on the other side. The rest of the field can't see him because he's kind of up there toward the bottom.
Well, in lane 4, here comes Meachtree from Cal. Here we come into the final half link. Ritter in lane 1, Townsend in lane 6, Meachtree in lane 4. It's Townsend in lane 6 who wins it of Arizona at 1:33.29. Meachtree finishes second, and Ritter up in lane 1 winds up third.
Huge points for Arizona on that with a victory. You can see Rick DeMont there, one of the coaches on the Arizona staff. Darian Townsend, an Olympic gold medalist. Don't forget, this guy was on the South African Olympic team in 2004 when they shocked the world in that 400 freestyle relay. And there you see 1, 2, 3 from the bottom, looking very smooth right now, in control by the end of the race. Once again, 3 from your left-hand screen, and you can see he's built that lead. Now, Meachtree makes a charge in the yellow cap in lane number 4. You can see how he's charging on toward the end. He ran out of room by the end. You can see how Townsend just maintains that pace all the way through, and Meachtree's trying to do his best, but he just waited too long. And here's the finish. Ritter at the very top fades at the end, and then Meachtree puts his head down, and boy, Townsend's hurting by the end. He stretches those long arms into the wall.
But Townsend, the transfer from the University of Florida, touches first for Arizona. Now down on deck with our winner. Here's Cynthia.
Darian, that was a great finish. The Cats just came roaring back in this race. What was your strategy going into it? Because I know you maintained your pace very well.
Just not using my legs first 100. I was just going to go out as hard as I could with my arms and save my legs for that second half of the race.
Well, it was a good strategy and it worked. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And here you see the results. Darian Townsend, the winning time, a 1:33.29. Meachtree of Cal second, and Adam Ritter of Arizona is third. Here's a look at the team standings now through 9 events. It is Auburn with 268 points. Stanford and Florida in a good battle right now for second, with Arizona fourth, and the Longhorns of Texas are fifth. And a familiar name will be in the middle of the pool here, Rowdy, and Albert Subirats.
Yeah, we just watched him win the 100 butterfly, breaking that NCAA record. I think he's got a good shot at this record as well, Mark. Ben Hessen from Jeffersonville, Indiana, the Big Ten champ, hometown boy, swimming for Indiana. He's got a shot. He's the second seed. And of course, you have to keep an eye on the big, tall senior Matt Grevers of Northwestern. He just watched his teammate, Mike Alexandrov, break that record in 100 breaststroke. Can he do the same for this small team?
Grevers trying to make it 3 straight years in this event. We look at the lane assignments. Cal has David Russell. He'll be at the top of your screen. Boswell of Tennessee, followed by Sacco. Subirats in lane 4. Hessen, Grevers, Lundquist, and White of Auburn will be in lane 8.
Start so critical. We talked about that. Swimmers can go about 15 yards underneath the water. You'll see them go way underneath, do that little dolphin kick, and then shoot to the surface right about there. That's the 15-yard mark. You see that little red buoy right there, and they'll have the same option coming back. Each time they come up a little bit shorter, not quite 15 yards. There's about 12 and a half, kind of bunched up together. Remember now, Subirats there in the middle, the top qualifier, just got out of the 100 fly. Could that take the edge off and give everybody else a chance? It doesn't look like that right now, Mark.
Slight edge for Subirats. Middle of your picture in lane 4. Off the final wall.
Oh, what a great turn again for Subirats.
And here comes Subirats. Hessen giving him a challenge in lane 5, and Subirats touches first. Hessen will finish second. And Grevers does not make it a three-peat. He finishes third.
What a double for this guy. Unbelievable. Under 45, close to that record. You know, when I saw Ryan Lochte go 44.6 last year, I didn't think anybody'd be close anytime soon. And he's 23 100ths of a second off that record. What a great double. And what a great swim for Arizona. I mean, that's right back in the thick of things for this title. As I said, you watch the start, all those swimmers pop up. He kind of plays his field a little bit, and then watch this last turn. You see the underwater he does. He has great dolphin kick underwater, and then boom, he has about a half body length ahead of the rest of the field. He maintains that the rest of the way into the wall. What a great finish.
And Subirats, the winner. The 2004 Olympian from Venezuela, Albert Subirats, just off record pace at 44.83. Hessen of Indiana second, and Matt Grevers of Northwestern, 45.61, finishes third. Well, starts will be very crucial in this sprint race. We go to the 100-yard freestyle. Dewey Dragana owns the NCAA record. Here's a look at the lane assignments. Nilo of Arizona will be in lane 1, Weber Gale of Texas lane 2, followed by Target, Wildman Tolbrenner of Stanford in the middle, Cielo, Ritter, Adrian, and Barbic of Northwestern in lane 8. Well, Stanford has one swimmer in this event. They're without their head coach, though. Skip Kinney, the head coach, suspended with pay due to an internal investigation due to actions he took with his team. And Ben Wildman Tolbrenner, who we'll see in this event, says he and the Cardinal are taking the absence of their head coach in stride.
The team has come together better than I could have hoped. And the main thing I try to keep telling them is that Skip doesn't score any points. And, you know, I've had dozens of emails come in from the alumni illuminating pretty much the same exact thing, which is that Skip has coached us all year long, and at this point, he really just has to let us go.
Well, you know, Mark, this young man has carried himself with such dignity through all of this, and I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled an upset here.
Three-time Pac-10 champ. Again, will be in lane 4 for the Cardinal. Lane 1 at the top, lane 8 at the bottom. Wildman Tolbrenner will be in lane 4, Cielo in lane 5. Watch the middle of your screen. 4 links of the pool freestyle.
100 freestyle. Take your mark.
Cielo is just so quick. He has such quick reactions off those blocks. Such strong reflexes, already inching out ahead. He's just 25 yards into the race. Look at that huge wave the swimmers bring into that wall. It's real important to get up underneath that, and Cielo did that so well in the 50 freestyle when he went 18.6. Oh, he's out fast, 19.6, that's under record pace.
Cielo in lane 5 with the lead. He finished 4th in this event a year ago, and he's threatening to take it all this year.
And October's riding his hip. You can see him to the left, and he'll be able to chase it down a little bit. But I think he's going to run out of room. Cielo's going to do it. Can he get the record? Yes!
41-17, a new NCAA record. Cesar Cielo of Auburn wins it. Wildman Tolberner of Stanford second. And Garrett Weber-Gale of the Longhorns third. But another tremendous swim from the young man from Brazil. There's Dad.
Cesar Senior. Oh my goodness, he's going nuts. He brought a whole contingent. Mom and Dad are up there, aunts and uncles. There's his mom right there, Flavia. She seems to take it all in stride. Oh my goodness, what an amazing 41.17. I can't go that for a 50 anymore. That is so fast. Oh, what a great start. You know, he gets into the water so quickly. He doesn't get a lot of distance off the blocks, but boy, he carries that momentum so well. And look at that last turn. He got tired. I thought he was a little sloppy this last 10 or 15 yards, and I thought he might not get the record, but look at the length of stroke, Keith. Did you see that last stroke?
Wow.
Oh my gosh. 41-17, out 19.6.
That certainly deserves several fist pumps and a little splash in the water, and a happy family for the Cielos up from Brazil. Cesar Cielo wins the 100-yard freestyle. Down on deck, here's Cynthia.
Cesar, this was amazing. You had the record, but did you go out for the record, or were you just swimming to win?
I was just trying to swim to win. First, before you break any record, you have to win. You can't win without, you can't break any record without win. And right now, all I can think, I just want to say thanks to my coach, my family's here, and to my teammates to push me hard the whole season to reach my best today in this whole NCAA.
Congratulations on a fabulous NCAA thus far.
Thank you.
There's Cielo's head coach, David Marsh, with a smile on his face, as Cesar Cielo has won the 100-yard freestyle. And another record falls here in Minneapolis, 41-17, the time for Cielo, with Wildman Tolberner second and Garrett Weber-Gale of Texas at 41.94.
In the 1-meter diving, Florida State freshman Terry Horner wowed the crowd with this forward 3.5 somersault in the second of 6 rounds. Every judge rewarded him with 9s as he took the lead. Hawaii junior Magnus Frick came back with the same dive. Although it was high and graceful, it left Magnus trailing by 0.6 of a point to Horner. The final round proved fruitful for the Auburn program because senior captain Steven Siegerland did his best dive, an inward 2.5, and secured himself a 3rd place finish and 16 points for the Tigers. The quickness of Florida State's Horner was demonstrated on his inward 2.5, sliding through the water like silk and earning more 9s with the highest scoring dive of the event. The only one who could defeat Horner was Hawaii's Frick, who needed 8.5s on his last dive, a reverse 2.5. He received 8s and 2nd place by just 4.3 points. The 3-meter event, coming up after Horner receives congratulations, began with Auburn's Siegerland establishing himself early. The inward 2.5 somersault pike found vertical without a lot of splash. But it was BYU freshman Brandon Watson who took the lead in the 2nd round. No one performed a more effortless looking forward 2.5 with 2 twists, and he netted 81.60 points to go into the lead temporarily. Hawaii junior Magnus Frick possesses a certain elegance combined with power. His final dive, a reverse 2.5 with 1.5 twists, and his score of 407.05 became the score to beat. One of the steadiest performers was Ohio State senior Kellen Harkness. Kellen needed 6.5 from the judges to go ahead of Frick. He received exactly 6.5 and put himself into the lead with only Auburn Siegerland yet to dive. Steven Siegerland's almost handed the title to Ohio State's Harkness, but he only needed 5s to win. The scores ranged from 5.5 to 6.5, which was enough for Siegerland to eke out the win for Auburn. As we see Coach Jeff Schaefer delivering the hug, it was Siegerland's first springboard title.
Our next event is the 200-yard backstroke. Ryan Lochte set the NCAA record in Atlanta last year, and he's won this event the last 2 years. But passing of the torch in lane 4, the Lake Forest, Illinois resident Matt Grevers.
Yeah, the senior should be the heavy favorite here, top qualifier, and has been very good in this event all year long. Keep an eye on Hung Zhang-Zi. He is very good from Eva Beach, Hawaii. Pac-10 champion in the 200 backstroke. He'll be representing the U.S. at the World University Games a little bit later on this summer.
Here's a look at the lane assignments. It'll be Roland Rudolph of Florida in lane 1, Ben Hessen of Indiana in lane 2, Wyke of Auburn in lane 3, followed by Grevers, Salata, Sun, Plummer, and Tapp. 8 lengths of the pool backstroke, lane 1 at the top of your screen.
Well, I talked about Matt Grevers just a minute ago. You know, he's carried this team on his shoulders, Mark. I talked to him a little while ago, and he's such a humble young man. There's only 5 swimmers from Northwestern. 4 of them have made up these relays they've all been swimming on. They won the 400 medley relay, which meant so much to Matt Grevers, the senior. Hangzi's son in lane 6, he's also a senior. If either one of these tend to falter, Hangzi's son or Matt Grevers, look for Lucas Salata in lane 5 to make up that gap a little bit. He's got a chance. He's the SEC champion in the 200 back. He's right underneath Matt Grevers, who's out very fast.
Grevers has the lead coming off the wall. Ben Hessen of Indiana.
There you see his dad. Yep, excuse me, I just saw his dad right there. Talked to him a little while ago, and he's real nervous for his son. He was upset in the 100 back, a little bit of an upset. 2-time defending champion, did finish 3rd in that. And boy, he's making up for it in a big way right now. With only 50 yards left to go, he is blowing away this field.
Saw Dad writing down the splits. He's writing down some happy numbers right now.
112.9, he's not too far off Ryan Lochte's record split. When we watched that last year, I didn't think anybody would ever be close to that.
So here comes Matt Grevers. He's going to win it going away. The race for second place.
37, 38, oh, he's 38, great time.
Grevers wins it. Sun comes in second from Stanford. And it's Salata of Florida finishing 3rd, but the happy Grevers family as Northwestern's Matt Grevers wins the 200 back.
Just like a dad, writing those splits down. That's the 2nd fastest swim in history, only behind Ryan Lochte. You see the start right there. Hangzi's son finished well, started well right there, but really from start to finish, it was all Matt Grevers. Watch this turn right here. He's getting tired. You can tell the rest of the field's starting to inch up on him, but he was so explosive that first 100 mark, it just didn't matter. Look at this. Son did all he could to catch him, but ran out of room, and there is the championship. First time in 50 years that Northwestern's won that event.
And Grevers wins it easily. Now down on deck, here's Cynthia Potter with the winner.
Matt, you didn't leave anything up to chance on this race. Did that ease the pain of the 100 a little bit?
A little bit. I don't know, I'm feeling it right now. I knew I'd take it out fast. I was trying to shoot for a little faster time, but quite happy with this.
I would imagine so, even though you were close a lot, Keith.
Thanks. He's a fast swimmer, and even being close is an honor for me.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Great swim by Matt Grevers. His winning time 1:38.71. Son of Stanford's second, and Salada's 1:41.86. Places third. Now let's take a look at some earlier action from here in Minneapolis. Let's begin with a 400-yard individual medley. No Auburn swimmers in this, Ronnie, but in lane 5 out of the Big Ten, Alex Vanderkay of Michigan.
Yeah, they had a couple swimmers in the top 8, which was big points for Michigan. Pat Mellers was actually the top qualifier for junior from Virginia. You see him with a white cap, but Alex Vanderkay took charge late in this, held off a late charge from Lucas Salada up top from Florida and won it.
3:40.89, Vanderkay wins the 400 IM. And then in the 800-yard freestyle relay, note the record time, 6:16.25 of Florida, because this was a fast field.
Boy, set a couple years ago, that time was so far way out there, I didn't think anybody would be able to come close to it. But Nick Nilo, John Bassan, Darian Townsend, and the senior Adam Ritter brought it home, and they smashed the record.
Winning time 6:14.14, the new NCAA record. Now you want to swim a mile. Here's the 16:50 free. And you see the record there, 14:26.62. Larson Jensen, is he really one of the best long-distance swimmers out there right now?
Well, he's an Olympic silver medalist in the metric version, the 1500 free from the Athens Games. That record is so fast, though, but can you imagine after 66 links, and you noted the time, 14:26.62, that was 8/100ths of a second off.
And the USC's Jensen just missed out on the record. We look at the standings through 15 events. Auburn still out in front, followed by Arizona, Stanford, Texas, Florida, Northwestern, and Michigan. And in lane 4, Vlad Polikov of Alabama, who won this event 2 years ago but finished second last year, wants that title back.
Yeah, he certainly does, and I think he's got a great shot, especially with the disqualification in the prelims of Michael Androff, who was going to be the favorite. There's Paul Kornfeld, just a sophomore, actually one of 4 sophomores in this field. Pac-10 champion. He was third last year, so you know he's got the experience.
Look at the lane assignments. Michigan's Scott Spann will be at the top of your screen in lane 1. It's Bill Mrazek of Florida in lane 2, Krass of Stanford, Polikov in lane 4, Versfeld in 5, Kornfeld 6. From Hungary, Hunor Mete and Bradley Alley of Florida, lane 8. Lane 1 at the top, lane 8 at the bottom. This is 8 links of the pool breaststroke.
Take your mark.
Polikov has to be considered the favorite here. Having won that a couple years ago and second last year, senior, international experience, it just all adds up for him.
He's an Olympian. There's another Olympian there in the bottom of your screen, lane 8, Bradley Alley, who swam for Barbados in the 2004 Olympic Games.
Yeah, born and raised in the Bahamas. Barbados not known as a swimming power, but certainly a swimmer to watch in the years to come. Once again, he's just a sophomore. He's the SEC champion.
Polikov in lane 4 with about a half body length lead. Coming up in lane 3 now, Nate Cass.
You know, a little while ago, as I said, we watched Michael Alexandrov break that record in the 100 breaststroke. And as I also mentioned, because of that disqualification for an illegal turn, it really kind of opened this field, Mark, and gave everybody else hope, including Polikov and Nate Cass up there in lane number 3, who's doing his best to hang right there with Polikov.
Coming right towards you. Polikov with the lead in lane 4, but Cass in lane 3.
Boy, this would be a huge upset if Cass could somehow stay with him. You can see him, he's right in his hip, about a half body length behind, but you can see the surge now, Polikov. Really taking that stroke, moving it forward, constantly having that undulation of the hips. Boy, Cass is right there, though.
Last 10 yards. Polikov in lane 4, Cass in lane 3, but it's going to be Polikov who sticks it. He takes first at 1:52.71. Cass right behind him from Stanford And Paul Kornfeld of Stanford third. So the Cardinal takes second and third in the 200-yard breaststroke, but it's Polyakov from Alabama, the winner.
And you can see him shaking his head, Mark, and the reason is he just missed breaking that NCAA record. The record was set by Brendan Hansen, and that was 152.62. Guess what? 9/100ths of a second, and that's why the little bit of a disappointment. Great start by the field. You don't want to be taking any kind of chances on a 200 race. They kind of come up even there, but as he goes into the last turn, that's what I'm talking about. Look at the length of stroke, good streamline at the end, really stretches out at the end of each stroke, and then here's the finish at the end, makes that lunge, just missed that record.
Missed it by 9/100ths of a second. So Brendan Hansen's record will survive, but Polyakov, great time at 152.71. Cass 153.36, and Kornfeld, also of Stanford, takes third at 154.52. Now we move to platform diving. It's the final round, and we begin with Auburn freshman Daniel Mazzaferro from Cheshire, Connecticut. A back 2.5, 1.5 twist pike position, 3.4 degree of difficulty.
He has a very respectable list of dives. All his dives at 3.0 or higher degree of difficulty. Wow, he has some really nice entries. You kind of hear that pop. That's indicative of what we call the rip entry as Coach Jeff Schaefer looks on. And this requires a very aggressive jump from the platform and then a lot of spinning and twisting, and he needs to keep his legs tighter, straighter before he goes in the water, and that would receive very high scores. They're respectable, but it's not going to move him into the top 5.
Now we move to another Auburn freshman, Kelly Marks,
who does a back 1.5, a 2.5 twist off the lower platform. Jeff Schaefer says he's taking Kelly very slowly, very cautiously, and learning all these platform dives. Not quite ready to go up on the 10-meter with a twister yet, but he has very pretty lines, a great stretch in his legs, and that should keep him somewhere in the top 6. We just don't know until all these other divers go.
Mickey Bendetti, another freshman from ASU.
Oh, I really like that dive. That was an incredible back 2.5 with 1.5 twists, and that's going to net a whole bunch of points. He was in 3rd place going into the last round, and look at this jump. So tight, legs stretched, toes pointed, goes in the water vertically. Wow, what a dive. Oh my goodness, this is the highest scoring dive of the competition thus far.
Great scores. Now to another freshman, Ruben Ross from Miami, back 2.5, 1.5 twist, pike position.
Oh, these guys are diving very well in the final round. This is another terrific back 2.5 with 1.5. We're seeing a lot of this dive in the last round, and some guys are even doing this with another twist and adding more degree of difficulty, and that's in the international scene. But look at that entry, so clean, so pretty. Not quite the same as Mickey Benedetti's. Should keep him in the top 5. We'll find out as soon as the last 2 divers go.
Texas A&M's Eric Sane.
Eric Sane needed 8.5s to go ahead of Mickey Benedetti from ASU. I think he might receive 6.5s, but I don't know about the 8.5s. The entry was sliding past vertical just slightly, and that's where we're going to see what I would call the rooster tail splash come up. I'll show you right here. There he goes past vertical, and there you see that splash come up. So not quite good enough to be ahead of Mickey Benedetti.
Comes down to the final dive. Steven Singerlin of Auburn.
He needs 6s to win this contest. Oh, I don't know. His knees were a little bit bent. Jeff Schaefer's going to hope and pray that he can receive the 6s or 6.5s on this. You see the knees and the feet crossed in that twisting position, but he does know where vertical is. He gets the dive down all right. He gets just what he needs to win a 2nd title here at these NCAAs. Oh my goodness, he defends his title.
Pretty good race for 2nd, as Rowdy mentioned. Stanford and Arizona right there. Florida, Texas, Michigan, and Northwestern round out the top 7. This is the 200-yard butterfly. Melvin Stewart owns the NCAA record. Michael Phelps, the American record. And in lane 4, Young man from Memphis, Tennessee, Georgia's Gil Stovall.
Yeah, second last year, coached by Jack Barley, who's the head coach of the women's Olympic team of 2008. Patrick O'Neill, the senior, this would be a great chance for California to get back to it. They struggled the first few sessions, but they swam very well as of late.
Here are the lane assignments for the 200 butterfly. Pat Carey of UC Santa Barbara will be in lane 1. Son of Stanford in lane 2. O'Neill of Cal, Stovall, Scott, Fraser, Madsen, and Curtis Daw of Michigan will be in lane 8. Lane 1 at the top. This is 8 links of the pool butterfly.
200 butterfly. Take your mark.
Looking at this field, Mark, look, if you look across of it, and I've looked at every single race up to this point, this is the one that seems to be the tightest. Only about a half a second separates these top 8 swimmers from the prelims, wide open.
Well, in lane 5, there's a lot of great Auburn swimmers. One that may be unsung, a senior leader here and a biomed sciences major, John Scott.
Yeah, he's got a great story. Grew up about 15 minutes from the Auburn campus, which is really hard to do because the Auburn campus is in the middle of nowhere. And wasn't really highly recruited. 15th, next to last in the consoles last year, but he kept battling, and here he is, seated second in the finals.
Well, Pat Carey at the top of your screen in lane 1 with a slight lead. We've not had one of your outside smokers yet in this meet.
Yeah, we've had a lot go out, but you're right, we haven't had any that have been able to come back, and that's the key. Once again, look how bunched up they are. We talk about that over and over with this NCAAs. They have become so competitive. There's 4, 5, there's probably 6 swimmers in there that still have a shot with 75 yards left to go.
Still Carey in lane 1, but now in lane 3, Patrick O'Neill of California.
Yeah, he's really starting to make that move. Look at the difference. You know the difference was that turn right there. He was able to stay underwater longer than anybody else, which means he hasn't gone into that oxygen net. Looking very good right now. Did breathe to go into that turn as well.
Here they come. O'Neill in lane 3 has the slight lead. And it's O'Neill of Cal who wins it at 1:42.98. Scott of Auburn comes in second. And Stovall of Georgia is third, but some happy Bears.
And there's the team right there, coached by the legend Nort Thornton. And what a great swim. First victory for the Cal Bears here. Patrick O'Neill, the senior. What a way to go out. And you know what? He never panicked anytime. There's assistant coach Mike Bottom. Oh, great start by the field there. You know what I liked about that race, Mark, was the fact that he never panicked. He didn't really have the lead going into the 100, but he just kept maintaining that pace, put the blinders on. Here's that last turn, next to last turn, and watch that turn. You see that turn? Other swimmers are taking 2 or 3 strokes, and he's still underwater. That told me right there he was going to make the surge into the finish, and he did. Look at this. He puts his head down right there. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. And John Scott swam well, finishing second.
Patrick O'Neill from Roseburg, Oregon, the winner in the 200-yard butterfly. His winning time of 1:42.98. And the senior Scott from Montgomery takes second. Gil Stovall of Georgia, 1:43.54 is third. The 400-yard freestyle relay, Cal owns the NCAA record. Arizona route, he's going to be swimming out of lane 2.
I've been going back and forth. I'm like Jekyll and Hyde here. How can this team lose? There's just no way. They've got 4 solid swimmers. 3 of them made the top 16 in the 100 free. Subirats won the 100 back and 100 fly. They can't lose. No way. Oh, but wait a second. Wait just a second. There's Auburn. I don't know how they're going to be able to lose. Cesar Cielo won the 100? No way.
Here are the lane assignments for this final race. Arizona lane 2, Auburn lane 5, Cal in lane 4.
This is the key leg right here. This first leg for Arizona. Subirats in lane 2 did not swim the individual 100 freestyle. He's got to get Arizona off to a good start.
Subirats has the lead through 50 yards. Auburn trying to win this Team relay, final race for their head coach, David Marsh, who reflects on his experiences at his alma mater, Auburn University.
What I've been able to do is really enjoy the athletes, the atmosphere. I've had a chance to enjoy this process. Now, the fact that we won last week at the women's meet made it better, of course, and hopefully we'll do well here, and that'll make it better. But that's not the end. You know, in coaching, what you enjoy is the process of improvement and seeing it happen.
And what a process he's had over the last 15 or 20 years with these Auburn Tigers. And what a way they could send him out with a victory here. And what a huge leg Cielo is having right now. And this is really strange strategy. I'm questioning Coach Marsh here. Am I nuts on doing that? But they're sending their fastest leg second here. Normally you'll save your fastest leg for last, but they want to get some smooth water. And really it's paying off right now, halfway through the race.
Auburn has about a half body length lead.
And you can tell that leg was huge for Auburn by Cielo. And boy, they have built a huge lead. And what this does mentally for the 40.7 on Cielo, what this does for Auburn, Mark, right here, it gives them the smooth water on the physical side, but mentally, it gives them that confidence for these last couple of swimmers. And now you've got the only senior in the bunch, Brian Lundquist, ending it, coming off a man target.
It's a two-school race right now. We come to that last exchange. It's Auburn and Arizona in this 400-yard freestyle relay to close it out.
You know, Adam Ritter's the senior up there for Arizona, but I just don't see how he can do it. Look at the gap that Auburn has built now. Brian Lundquist is a body length at the 50. They've got a great chance at the record too. The record 2:47.70. Mark, that's the fastest in history. I think they're going to do it.
Cal owns the record. That record may fall right here.
It's Auburn now. The course of the record. You can see the swimmers going nuts. Could this be the swan song that David's looking for?
Lundquist sticks it.
He does it. He does it. He does it.
A new NCAA record for Auburn. The Tigers. 2:46.56. Not only did they get it, Rowdy, they smashed it.
Wow. Look at this. You can breathe easy now, Coach Marsh. It's over. Wow. What a relay. I love that relay. I could watch that relay over and over again. It's just such a tremendous relay. Arizona, so great in being second. They were 47.8. They were almost under the record too.
But you were questioning Cielo in that two spot.
You know, that two spot was real important. The exchanges are so critical. We've talked about the starts and how important they are. You've seen DQs across the board, and they're so critical. And look at what Cielo is doing and getting that 40.7. Ankar was first. He was 42.5. Solid target. He was 41.8, and you can see, look at it, way above Arizona. Townsend, he just didn't have it. Woo! Now you can see he's starting to tire a little bit, and Ritter, such a good 200 freestylers, trying to catch him, but look at Lundquist put his head down in the senior, sends his coach out in style. The guy's never lost. He's won 4 NCAA titles, and the rest is history.
An NCAA record for Auburn in the 400-yard freestyle relay. And oh yeah, the Auburn Tigers going to win it all here in Minneapolis. There's the record time. Arizona, tell you what, they were not far off that record themselves, 2:47.86, and Cal at 2:50.62 is third. Here are the final standings. There never seemed to be any doubt about the outcome. Auburn the easy winner, but Roddy, there was a very good race for second place.
It was a great race, but the past 5 years, Mark, teams like Stanford, Arizona, Texas, Florida, they all line up to knock off this Goliath, but they just have not been able to do it.
So Auburn wins it. Stanford takes second, followed by Arizona, Florida, Texas, and Northwestern out of the Big Ten places sixth.